Brother is from the Philippines. His father was a pro. He had a bit of a disjointed amateur, four-time Japanese high school champion.
Gentlemen, you both been given the instructions. Obey my command at all times.
Let's put it into perspective.
And protect yourselves at all times. Touch the
In the perspective with Shakur and Timmy. 120. Just meets his opponent's jab. You will see this often with that lead hand. Stevenson creates a rhythm and back off the power hand many times to the body.
Yoshino's already started to lunge forward. He's trying to close the distance. Not look for the right check hook from Shakur Stevenson. And occasionally moving his head. Good right hand.
Yoshino goes with a right hand to the body. Shakur just slightly getting out of range. Right hand to the body again from Yoshino. On the inside.
Smart, just closing distance right there. Your safest place is when you're sitting down in your corner, but also the opponent, like Yoshino, in tight. Where your opponent.
You always talk about Stevenson early on with that. And Yoshino. He said, you know, everything in my career to me started a measured first round that means nothing but boxing. And he admitted to us that Oscar Valdez, when he was at times outside of the ring, that was a slit all about. He was absolutely dynamic in earning a belt. The balance was Yoshino.
Well, he understands, you know, this is a stacked division, 135 pounds division.
Yoshino with a straight right hand that was able to split the guard.
You know, if he wants to take it over, he knows he has to be on another level. See, that's the fight right there that Yoshino letting his hands go and just hit anything. It doesn't matter. Hit anything. Shoulders, arms, forearm, land. Disrupt the timing of Shakur Stevenson.
Bernard.
Side of the head. Doesn't matter.
Spoke with Kai Zama, who's the assistant in Yoshino's corner, and he says we're more pressure in this round. It was a good start.
In terms of pressure in the two signature wins, Nakatani and Ito, Yoshino averaged nearly. In that first round, he threw 42.
He found a pattern. Shakur, Yoshino, he'll stick the jab hand out. He'll start jousting with it. Then he'll step inside, drop his head.
Scored with the left hand.
And look for the right hand. And Shakur, meat in mind. He recognized the pattern. Yoshino stepping in. Little out of position. It looked like he was coming with the left. Shakur just slipping his head outside the left hand. You see him on his back foot right there. Beautiful.
Perfect left hand. Uppercut. Doubting Shakur's power. And remember what Yoshino said about doubt. Shakur said back. Let's show him. He just showed him. Just missed with that sweeping uppercut. He's been in tough fights in his career. He's just never round here. There's a left hand again. Yoshino's showing never been in against somebody this skilled. Shakur goes underneath on the inside, sends him off balance. And moments ago that scored the knockdown. And you see a very fire. That was a master.
Shakur will start throwing a straight left hand and look for the uppercut as well. He's past the second round. He's found his range.
It's the second time that Yoshino has been knocked down in his career.
See, in that first 2 rounds of his opponent, Shakur, the tactics that he's trying to use, he understands. He gathers information, and once he realizes that, then he starts getting to work about his opponents first, and then he goes in for his assault.
And it backed up Yoshino. And now Yoshino willing. That was a left hand that hit right on. Willing to trade with Shakur. Trying to get that landing right hand as Shakur covers up. The body, 2-punch combination, including a right. Doubles up the right hand. I think he took offense. Doubting his power at 135 pounds.
Great control work right there. He's using the probe. Trying to set up something up top.
Opening up his arms, probing. Looking up top. And now right in the kitchen.
Look how Yoshino's getting his foot outside. He's trying to get the lead foot dominance, but Shakur Stevenson is too wise for that. Directions. He can move to his left. It's off.
Tight combination on the inside. Yoshino with a short left hook on the inside. Great right hand. Yoshino is game. We knew that. That power.
Great sequence right there from
Left uppercut.
high the intelligence, Shakur Stevenson.
And there was a left uppercut that just landed moments ago here in the first Shakur, but Shakur is more accurate. He's so round number 4 as Yoshino's so defensively sound. We always talk about plus minus when it comes in.
Yeah, in Yoshino's corner, they want an answer, and that because it's too late.
Isn't that the truth?
Tess, you can put them in a phone. See the skill set. You see and you see the dominance of the controls that he uses on his opposition, the quick decisions that he makes in real time.
He said to us yesterday that he believes.
Phone booth.
Yes.
Literally.
He said, watch what I've done in recent fights. I stay right.
Arms reach apart, not getting hit.
So the Shakur Stevenson early in his career, and perhaps the Shakur Stevenson,
and
another accurate left hand lands.
And a nice right
is not the Shakur Stevenson you've been seeing in recent.
But you know, he's getting lucky occasionally. Punching range, he will take some shots. He will.
And another knockdown scored.
See the just throwing, letting his hands go. That opened up. Stevenson coming around that guard. Beautiful right hook. Left hook. Sitting him down in timeout. Beautiful work right here by Shakur Stevenson.
Right hook.
The phenom.
Right hook scores the knockdown. Straight left.
Yoshino's leaning forward.
Uppercut. And another uppercut. For an uppercut.
Yes, he's trying for an uppercut, but also the check hook. When he leans forward, he dips, he shoots the jab on the.
There's the check hook.
There it is.
Throws him off balance and goes
in with shots like that, and he's available for the check hook.
Put the left upstairs, just a grazing blow that time. That lead hand is doing damage. It was a singular straight left that was underneath that time with the left uppercut to start the comp. It was the 3-punch combination capped by the right guard.
Here, high guard.
That lead hand of Shakur Stevenson. Front.
Step back.
So defensively skilled, far more offensively minded as the career grows. You see the temperament and style. You see the physical maturation. Well defined now at this stage. Goes underneath to the. Already a 2-division world champion. Already in the on ESPN pay-per-view between Lomachenko and the world champion of Devin Haney, the undisputed champion of the world, told Mark Kriegel 35 is the real estate you want to be in, folks, right now. That Bill says they are not moving up to 140 pounds.
Bill Haney and Devin Haney is about the legacy also.
Haney wildly skilled himself.
It is. That's what they're about, my goodness.
Step back.
And Yoshino's taking a ton of punishment. He really is. He has total control. These are the fights you got to worry about when a fighter taking too much damage.
Pick that up.
You got to worry about a whole lot of punching power on those shots, but they're hard enough.
Big left uppercut. He crossed that threshold. That lead hand has been devastating tonight.
Tess, that was a jab on the chin.
Yes.
You heard him with a jab on the chin.
Just turning over that jab alone to have success. And now Yoshino tries to come in and place anything he can. And some of his biggest wings have taken punishment. That is another shot. To your point, Tim Bradley, the accumulation. Alan Hungen says, I've seen enough.
Yes.
The concern of just taking the beat. You were concerned.
Yes, many heavy shots, over and over and over and over. That last left uppercut.
Winner by technical knockout, Shakur Stevenson.
Creates a rhythm and back off the power hand many times to the body.
Yoshino's already starting to lunge forward. He's trying to close the distance. Not look for the right check hook from Shakur Stevenson. And occasionally moving his head. Good right hand.
Yoshino goes with a right hand to the body. Shakur just slightly getting out of range. Right hand to the body again from Yoshino. On the inside.
Smart, just closing distance right there. Your safest place is when you're sitting down in your corner, but also the opponent, like Yoshino, in tight. Where your opponent.
You always talk about Stevenson early on with that. And Yoshino. He said, you know, everything in my career since he started. A measured first round that means nothing but boxing. And he admitted to us that Oscar Valdez, when he was at times outside of the ring, that was a slit all about. He was absolutely dynamic in earning a belt. The balance was Yoshino.
Well, he understands, you know, this is a stacked division, 135 pounds division.
Yoshino with a straight right hand that was able to split the guard.
You know, if he wants to take it over, he knows he has to be on another level. See, that's the fight right there that Yoshino letting his hands go and just hit anything. It doesn't matter. Hit anything. Shoulders, arms, forearm, land. Disrupt the timing of Shakur Stevenson.
Bernard.
Side of the head. Doesn't matter.
Spoke with Kai Zama, who's the assistant in Yoshino's corner, and he says more pressure in this round. It was a good start.
In terms of pressure in the two signature wins,